Diddy got arrested and he is in prison now without bail. We all knew this was coming. It was only a matter of time. But the FBI has built up a case and they are now prosecuting him and they are now fighting him in court because they think that he is a sex trafficker. They think that he is a racketeering gang leader, and also they think that just a trash person altogether. Let's continue. Let's tune into the video and let's see what's going on out here in these streets, man.
Or from music mogul to an inmate, Sean Diddy Combs is denied bail on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering.
TMZ has been following this case for months now, and Charles Latibaudier is joining us to dive deeper into what is happening. Charles, I mean, shocking is an understatement when you hear the details of this case. What are your thoughts after hearing the indictment yesterday?
Good morning, Brian and Natalie. I got to tell you, my thoughts reading the 14-page indictment yesterday were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them. And it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
I'm so glad I don't know these dudes. I'm so glad I'm not that famous that I am all up in Hollywood shaking hands with these people. I don't care about these celebrities no more. No more. And don't get me wrong, I know some of them are good, genuine people, but these demonic celebrities that are out here influencing these thousands and millions of people, I don't care for them anymore. I don't care for them. They're all human beings. They all breathe the same air. They all have the same life. They all make mistakes. And this is very unfortunate that, we had this guy, Diddy, who was very big, had the key to the city of New York, had very, very, very big records. It's unfortunate that we are seeing the downfall of this in real time. This is why I just stay out the way at this point, man. At this point in time, I'd rather no drama, no hate, living the right way, being cool, staying out the way, and doing what I gotta do to make myself successful at the end of the day. These freak offs and these Diddy parties, they turned out really, really bad, and it's looking like Hollywood, they're gonna come for a bunch of other people too. So we'll see who they end up coming for. And if Diddy will even survive this. Honestly, look at Jeffrey Epstein. He didn't survive. He got in trouble. He got for the same exact stuff. He had a whole island, and now he's locked up. And now he's dead, actually. He got locked up, and he apparently he died in jail. So Diddy is a very popular source, and he's a very huge influence huge person at the end of the day. Are they going to kill him too, man? Are they going to kill him too? Let me know your thoughts.
There are a lot of wild allegations in those documents that came out yesterday, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about?
Nah. See, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Why do you need 1,000 bottles of baby oil? What type of party was this? This man is different. This man is different.
What you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug. So, you know, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how Diddy, as they say, lured women into joining these parties. And they say that he would meet them or lure them, get to know them, and lure them in thinking they would think that there was going to be a romantic relationship with him. And then it would turn out that they would be at these freak-offs where they would be forced to have, or drugged and forced to have sex with male prostitutes that he was bringing in. And that's one of the counts that he's facing also, is the transportation of individuals for a purpose of prostitution. So really alarming allegations laid out.
Unbelievable, man. Honestly, unbelievable. This guy, man. It always got to be the successful ones that go down this route and ruin their lives, fumble the bag, fumble their lives, end up in jail, all over trying to ruin other people's lives. It's super sad to see this. Super sad. Unfortunate. It happened to a lot of the greatest, man. It happened to a lot of the greatest. It happened to R. Kelly. It happened to, allegedly, Michael Jackson. We'll never find out the truth about that. But it happened to a lot of the greatest, man. People worship these dudes. People look up to these dudes. People want to be like these people. And it's so trash. It's so evil.
Out in court, Diddy, of course, has pled not guilty to all of it. And then the real kicker for him at the end of the day was that the judge said you will be held without bail. And that means however long it takes for this trial to begin, he will be in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, and not a very nice one. In fact, a fairly notorious one. So you got to figure it. He wants out of there, and he wants out as soon as possible.
We're in this era right now, Charles, of men with power falling from grace in Hollywood. And when I think about Harvey Weinstein, you know, that was an open secret in Hollywood for a very long time about what he was doing with victims. Was this also the case with P. Diddy, that the people kind of knew this was going on?
I will say this. There were always been whispers about his power and how he wielded that power.
I must have said the wrong name earlier. My bad. That's the guy I meant to say.
But I can't say I heard any whispers about these freak-offs, and it's really alarming. You know, we were talking about it yesterday. One, these parties had a lot of individuals. In fact, the U.S. Attorney's Office says that the parties would sometimes go on for days. So there are a lot of individuals involved, and yet, and they say this has been going on for more than 10 years. And yet we didn't hear about that. So that means that all the people that were involved, according to the feds, that he managed to keep them all quiet, that nobody would speak about it. And that does sort of speak to the kind of power he wielded and the fear that people had of him. We're also talking about the fact that the beating of Cassie, which was captured on the hotel surveillance video, that was, 6 years ago. And
alleged when Combs
nobody
didn't get his
knew about it. Nobody heard about it. Think about all the people that were at the hotel who may have known about it, people who saw the surveillance video and never spoke about it. And like you said, we're in an era where when things like that happen, people speak out about it. So the fact that no one did, and that it only took this, really Cassie's lawsuit before any of this started coming out, it does kind of speak to the power that he wielded, and that the fact that nobody wanted to cross him.
That's a fact. He had a whole lot of power. He had a whole lot of money. Still got a whole lot of money too. And that's why he pled not guilty. Because he plans on fighting this. I don't know how you could sit there and say, I'm going to fight this, even though all this stuff is actually proven at this point. It's proven. The Cassie situation just melted everything down for him. Like, literally, once that video came out, everybody was already like questioning, like, yo, what's Cassie talking about? But now when they settled they settled the day after, we already knew. Red flag up right away. Red flag. Then the videos came out. Man, ain't nobody feel bad for Diddy right now, man. Nobody feeling bad for him. He did this to himself.
Charles, what do you think happens next in this case? Members of Sean Combs' family have been ordered to give up their passports. He's currently in jail. What do you think happens from here?
Well, his attorneys, the first thing that's going to happen is today, his attorneys are going back into court. They've appealed the bail ruling. And like I said, I'm sure he wants out, and that's their first job right now, is to get him out. They've offered a $50 million package for bail. That was rejected yesterday, but they're going to take another swing at it today. And then after that, what happens, look, he did surrender his passport to his lawyer. We should say, the way his team put it out originally, they made it sound like he had turned it over to the authorities. He had turned over his passport back in April to his lawyer, as did his children and his mother. And their point was they wanted to make the case to the court that, look, we're cooperating here. He is not a flight risk. And they feel like the U.S. Attorney's Office undermined that by raiding his hotel on Monday night and arresting him when they say he was in New York because he was more than willing to surrender. In fact, the plan was for him to surrender on Tuesday, and then for some reason the feds decided to arrest him Monday night. Diddy's attorneys think they did that so that it would look like he wasn't cooperating, and then the judge would deny him bail, which, as it turns out, is what happened.
Well, Charles, thank you so much for your thoughts on this.
Very, very sad what's going on, man. I can't even say we wish him well. He did his thing, man. He's gonna have to pay his time, honestly, at this point. This is unfortunate, man. Stay out the way, man. Don't get yourselves involved into these wannabe celebrities and wannabe lifestyles. Honestly, it's all eventually comes back to bite you in the butt, man. Honestly, it always comes back, and you can't hide from your past. You can't run from your past. If you did something evil, it's going to come out eventually, man. It's going to come out. So it's very important, man. It's very important to have that good character, and just be a genuine person that throughout your life. That's all you could really do to prevent yourself from being in situations like this. I know there's some billionaires and millionaires that have the best of character. They didn't let the money change them. They didn't let the power get into their way. But they stood on business, and they stood on their morals, and they respected the people around them. And they did what they had to do, man. And they put money in other people's pockets too. And that's the way it should be. At the end of the day, we only got one life. We got to make the best of it. And we don't want to go down these rabbit holes of having to deal with these type of situations in your life, man. Let me know y'all thoughts about this down below in the comments. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts, man. Thanks for all the love and support. I really appreciate y'all, man. Road to 5K. Hit that subscribe button if y'all are new, man. And until next time, peace.